Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Sunday, September the 27th, and I wanted to get back with you all for this video. Meghan will never run for president, at least not my belief. I think she wants to be a global influencer. It will take less work, and she'll get paid more money, and I think that's why she and Harry are doing the things that they're doing. And let's go ahead and get to the disclaimer, and we'll move on. Full disclaimer can be found below in the description, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching. Thank you for the comments and for liking and subscribing. I appreciate you. All right, let's start back because I've got a lot to cover, and I'm going to try to get through this one as quickly for you as I can. Here we go. Page 6 says, on September the 25th, by Lee Brown, Meghan Markle reportedly has serious ambitions to run for president. One of the reasons she has been so keen not to give up on her American citizenship was so she had the option to go into politics, the unidentified friend told the magazine. I think if Meghan and Harry ever gave up their titles, she would seriously consider running for president. The friend added rumors of a 2024 run. Her biographer, this is the friend, Omid Scobie, also previously claimed that the former actress has her eyes set on the U.S. presidency. I don't believe that's the case. I think that's a way of getting attention for herself, and anybody who might consider running likes to throw their name in the hat just to see if something will stick. But I'll tell you why I don't believe that's the case. Meghan is the embodiment of the American dream. One day we may see Meghan become president, the author of Finding Freedom, Harry and Meghan, the making of a modern royal family. Sorry, we don't believe anything he says. Previously told a documentary, Vanity Fair said, Harry and Meghan already sparked scandal with a video urging people to vote that heavily hinted that she was against President Trump, despite the long-standing practice for royals to remain politically neutral. She reportedly has been cold-calling Americans. Yeah, with Gloria Steinem. Right. Meanwhile, some royal watchers have already writing off her chances of ever surviving a brutal presidential election race. I would state categorically that she has no chance of ever running for president. She would be eaten alive, says Andrew Morton, author of Meghan, a Hollywood Princess, told Vanity Fair. You need a skin of a rhino to run for office, especially in America, which is an utterly polarized nation. Look what happened to Hillary Clinton, and she has lived and breathed high-octane politics since college. Americans don't want lectures from Brits, royal blood or not, just as we don't want lectures from well-meaning Americans. What are the requirements to be a U.S. president? According to Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, the president must be a natural-born citizen of the United States and be at least 35 years of age and have had been a resident of the United States for 14 years. This is how you become president. It just talks about from the beginning to the end, primaries, caucuses, and how it all works. We don't need to go into anything because Meghan's not going to run. For one thing, Meghan has a horrible past. This is our electoral college, and it's where the U.S. elections candidates are elected directly by popular vote, but the president, vice president are not elected directly by citizens. Instead, they're chosen by electors through a process called the Electoral College. The process of being electors comes from the Constitution. It's a compromise between a popular vote by citizens and a vote in Congress. Here's one of the things that Meghan would have to be concerned with. Federal campaign finance laws. Federal laws put limits on campaign contributions to candidates for president and Congress. It requires the candidate to report all the money their campaign receives and spends. Meghan doesn't want to do that. This is why this all come about. Kamala Harris, who is running on the Joe Biden ticket for vice president in this upcoming election, if she would become vice president, she would automatically empty her seat, and they were talking about some of the people that would be there. It's not going to happen, and Biden's not going to win. But I just want you all to know, Meghan called them and tried to throw her name in the hat. But these are the names that were discussed: an attorney general, a secretary of state, a U.S. representative, Barbara Lee of Oakland, representative, state senate president, representative, mayor, and a few other people. Now, Meghan has no credentials. Meghan is just a duchess. She was a D-list actress on a cable-streamed show, and her role was being written off, and she didn't have anywhere to go, and she needed a husband. So Meghan wanted to see if she could possibly get the seat or run, but they were like, no, thank you. And they didn't want her to speak at the Democratic National Convention, but they let her speak on something else about voting. And also, they gave her this little slot on the Times 100. Did I go read through that? Yes. All right. Meghan Markle possibly running for president. All right. It says Meghan Markle is not planning a presidential one. Despite one ridiculous tabloid article this week, the story is totally false. See, this is just Omid Scobie putting this stuff out there for. I can't believe he's still standing up for. Gossip Cop can debunk it. According to a shady, suspicious source, Markle and her husband, Prince Harry, are cooking up something big. Well, I announced that in my last video. We know what that something big was. It was a reality show, What's Happening with the Sussex. And it's going to be aired on Netflix. And they're going to be the producers and the stars. Isn't that something? No experience at all. Okay, so then it goes on to say, Meghan's always had political designs, and there are whispers she's thinking of running as a Democratic candidate in the 2024 presidential election, says the questionable tipster. It might seem a while away, but now's the time to prepare, which might explain why they've rushed to move into Los Angeles. And it's going to explain more about why I think she wants to be an influencer. And then you've got to realize Donald Trump, even though she's bashing him, he had his own reality show. And she thinks that if she gets this reality show and does these other things, that even if she doesn't get tapped on the shoulder and somebody say, hey, run, we'll back you, then she can go on being her global influencer. So anyway, it's not running. Queen's Fury, Buckingham Palace takes action against Prince Harry after political stunt, written by Ollie Smith on the 26th. And listen to this. Oh,
gone down well in England.
I'm so sorry. Let me just go back. Forgot to turn that on at the bottom. Here we go.
In their comments, but it's clearly perceived as a swipe at the White House by Harry and Meghan. And as I say, I would caution them about getting involved in American politics, particularly Prince Harry as Queen Elizabeth's grandson, because royal members do not talk about political activities or politicians publicly, particularly criticizing them. And this has not gone down well in England. And Buckingham Palace was asked for a comment about how they perceive the situation. And they said they do not comment on non-working royal members, which is really a double whammy for both Harry and Meghan, because, to be called non-working members means like they've been sidelined. But Harry perceives himself still as a working royal, somewhat limited now that he lives in the United States, but he's still there and wants to be involved in royal ceremonies and royal activities.
All right, and sorry about not having the sound on that right at first. The royal family is upset with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's recent decision to speak out about politics. Buckingham Palace officials were stunned after Prince Harry decided to go rogue and hand out a tactic political endorsement in the U.S. presidential race. However, royal officials hit back at the Duke of Sussex with a carefully crafted swipe, according to the royal expert. And it says, I would particularly would caution Prince Harry as Queen Elizabeth's grandson because royal members do not talk about political activities or politicians publicly. It's particularly criticizing them, and this has not gone down well with England. He continued that Buckingham Palace were asked about a comment, how they perceive the situation, and they said they do not comment on on non-working royal members. It's really a double whammy for both Harry and Meghan because to be called non-working royals, it means they've been sidelined. So if they've been sidelined and they're not working royals, get rid of the titles. Your Majesty, I know that this must be difficult. This is your grandson, and I know that you worry about his mental health, and I know that it's not something you want to do to your own grandson, but I think the time has come. I think you're left with no choice because they haven't agreed to the Mexic deal. They have used their royal titles in so many ways, even with the name of this new reality show they're going to have. They have gotten involved in politics. Harry sat right there beside Meghan on the bench and spoke about them, and we all know that she was pushing the Democratic ticket. You have got to do something. This is a train wreck, and it's just going to keep crashing through every town. It's not going to get better. So Prince Harry and Meghan, 2/3 of Britain want royal titles stripped. So this was done, this was written by Ingrid Seward on September the 26th, and it says that, I guess, although the survey was conducted last month before the foyer of about the latest participation in American politics, it's clear that Britons have fallen out of love with the couple and dislike the mixture of celebrity and royalty that the Sussexes have adopted as their own. Harry and Meghan appear either not to care or fail to understand what they do as private citizens impacts on the royal family back home. They understand they're doing this on purpose. It's all malicious. Meghan could care less. Can the Queen take away Harry's title? According to a report, Queen Elizabeth considered having Prince Harry and Meghan Markle be referred to as the Earl of Dumbarton and Countess, respectively. It's been, and this was back right after it was done on January 21st, but said it had been 3 days since Buckingham Palace announced that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would no longer use their HRH titles. All right, they've broken it. Don't give them a year before you go back and slap them on the hands and punish them. Town and Country, Meghan Markle is poised to become the most prominent influencer in the world. And this means, and don't expect her to go shilling flat tummy tea. This is May 9th. For designers, retailers, Meghan Markle's influence cannot be overstated. Almost everything she wears sells out, even faster if it's at a relatively affordable price point. And her royal stamp of approval can boast a brand sales in a way few others can. This is because she purposely wanted all these different designers instead of British designers. Gifting products to celebrities and other high-profile influencers is a common and modern marketing practice. Brands will send high-end profile influencers items for free in hopes they'll showcase them publicly. Meghan's mirror, Misha Nunu's jewelry. We saw that she and Jessica Maroney were having people send them samples, send them gifts, and then they said that they would make sure that she would be photographed in it. It says the Duchess is certainly familiar with how things work in this space, given her pre-royal career as an actress. But when Meghan was serving as a representative of the Queen and receiving public funding, there were numerous rules and protocols that she had to abide by, one being govern the types of gifts that she was able to receive. So this was the royal protocol for that. It says governing the acceptance of gifts by members of the royal family is that no gifts, including hospitality or services, should be accepted which would or might appear to place the member of the royal family under any obligation to the donor. In this regard, before accepting any gift, careful consideration should always be given where practicable to the donor. The reason for and occasion of the gift and the nature of the gift itself. Equally, before declining the offer of a gift, careful consideration should be given to any offense that might be caused by such action. Christina Ross, the creative director of Effervescence Media Group, company that runs the popular royal fashion blog Meghan's Mirror, agrees. She thinks Meghan might begin to receive gifts. Oh, honey, she's not beginning. She's been getting them all along. But that she'll choose what to accept very responsibly. But yes, she'll accept everything that she's given. Geo News says Prince Harry asked to stand up to Meghan Markle over the following the political controversy. And this was written on September the 26th. And I don't see the writer of this one. But anyway, it says the heat has been dropping atop Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently, so much that it's enraged royal fans, and they've turned on Prince Harry, and they've started demanding that he stand up to his wife Meghan Markle and call off her political ambitions. So without going into all this, I'm going to scoot down and go to the second paragraph. Mr. Wooten was quoted as saying, Dan Wooten this is, I say that for the moment, Prince Harry remains the obedient, nodding, wannabe first man. He is chipping in on Meghan Markle's pet projects with perfectly scripted, wokeism, British, princely charm. Yes, he is, Dan. But what happens when the prince actually stands up to Meghan for the first time? What happens when he tells her no? Am I actually going to put the sanctity of the institution that I was brought up in first? He's already walked away from that. He's not going to put the monarchy before anything. He doesn't care. I actually shudder to think what would happen because I can't imagine Meghan would take it very well. Miss Neeson chimed in with her own 2 cents, but admitted that she does not think Prince Harry will ever go against his wife. Do you think it's going to happen, Dan? He is never going to stand up to her. He is the very definition of a henpecked husband. I never want to say this, and I wanted to think it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. The Telegraph. Prince Harry is in danger of ruining America's love affair with the royal family. The U.S. may be obsessed with the monarchy, but I fear things will quickly turn sour if there are more lectures on politics. Oh, it already has. And that article was written by Harry Mount on the 24th. The Telegraph then writes, how Meghan could become the world's most powerful fashion influencer. I don't think she's going to be just fashion. I think she's going to be any kind of brand that's out there. And I think that's why she was pretending like she wanted to run for politics. She wants to talk to this group, that group. She knows that the more influence she has, the more popular her brand becomes, the more followers she gets when she sets up her Instagram page, that it will be worth so much that she'll only have to send out a tweet and can make up to $1 million. Experts predict the Duchess of Sussex earning power as a brand ambassador could be up to $100 million, but will she do things her own way? This is by Bethan Holt, Fashion News and Features Director. This was March the 7th of this year. So it goes back and it just starts talking about 1956. Grace Kelly was the most talked about woman in the world. She had won an Oscar. She was now married to Prince Rainier of Monaco and became Princess Grace. And they talked about her beautiful style, and she was photographed in magazines everywhere and said that it was a marketing dream come true for the storied French luxury label Hermès, when the princess held her beloved sack, one of Hermès' signature handbags, which she carried since it had been a part of her To Catch a Thief wardrobe, up over her stomach to conceal her budgeting baby bump from the world. So she, had all these designers coming to her. But there is one thing that Meghan is holding her back for fashion. Could Meghan Markle cash in on her powerful influencer status? Says they're stepping back from senior members. Well, we know that. Let's see, and will become financially independent, presenting one of the biggest influencers this year with new opportunities. London, United Kingdom, Meghan Markle already has the attributes of a fashion influencer, a huge social media following. Well, she had that on her Royal Sussex, but that Instagram page had to be shut down, and instead of like 17 million, she's down to 10 million, but they wouldn't let her move it over into another account. Each one of those has to be done manually, one by one. So that's why she's using other people's social media formats And then she calls press release so that she's in all of the newspapers around the world, but also featured on their website, Twitter, Instagram, whatever their social media page is. All she's missing is a fashion line of her own and brand partnerships, while her outfits have been known to break the royal tradition and even flaunt the unwritten protocol of how royal women should dress. The rules of sponsorship and product and brand endorsement are hard and fast for members of the Queen's household. But see, she thinks she doesn't have to abide by that rule anymore. And we talked about this a little bit, and she's only got this fame now because she is a member of the royal family and because she is married to Harry. Okay, it says, or at least she couldn't buy it before, but now that Harry and Meghan have stepped away from their senior roles in the royal family, Meghan's endorsement, at least in theory, just might be for sale. Well, we know it is. Is Prince Harry an influencer now? The real fashion influencers of our time, and they're talking about Kate and Meghan. But they're saying, can, like, Harry do menswear, or the other things he can influence. Okay, Vox reports by Rebecca Jennings on September the 12th that Meghan's fashion line shows how she's redefining her role as a royal. Oh, please. Bustle says by Laura Sharkey on September the 11th, and this was 2019, this is how much pounds the royal put into the pockets of fashion. Well, we all know that if they're wearing these designer clothes, that people are going to want to dress like them and that they're going to buy them if they can and can afford them. Excuse me, it says in the 80s, the world experienced the Diana effect. BOF, monetizing Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, influenced her past and a shift in stance from Kensington Palace has embodied brands to better capitalize on the moment when the royals wear their wares. And she's always staging things behind her, beside her, wearing them, holding them, so that they can go up on Meghan's mirror and other places so that people will want to go out and buy them. San Francisco, United States. Once upon a time, when a member of the British royal family stepped out, it used to mean sleuthing time for fashion sites, digging deep to suss out the style specifics for their ensemble. Now brands blast their looks down a range of marketing channels in hope of creating their very own fairy tale complete with plenty of dollar signs. They all use one another. The Guardian reports, royals for rent. Will Harry and Meghan become the world's biggest influencers? They've cut the royal purse strings and they need a source of income. Monetizing their social media followers could be their first step. They were never going to be king or queen of the United Kingdom, and now that they have been relieved of the royal responsibilities, a new empire stretches before them. It's limitless, lucrative, and theirs for the taking. The kingdom of sponsored content. And it says, thanks to the intense interest in their love story in social media, Prince Harry and Meghan have been dabbling in influencer space as long as they've been a couple. Before marrying, Meghan ran the lifestyle fashion blog The Tig, which gave her 1 foot in the world of influence. And in April of last year, as Sussex Royal, they broke an Instagram record for the fastest 1 million followers in less than 6 hours, next to 11 million, and it is the couple's platform of choice for personal announcements. It was, till it was shut down. So it says that, and I put bots. These were all bots, and it was all of her followers that were creating 6 to 10 usernames and going on to post about her. Okay, we've said everything else there. Forbes says, what influence do Prince Harry and Meghan have without the Sussex Royal brand? Says they could possibly make a living as Instagram influencers. However, Buckingham Palace has put a very royal foot down on how exactly the couple could use, or in this case, not use, the Royal Sussex brand as influencers, at least in the UK. Excuse me, get something to drink. Royal treatment on social media. So why should we be trusted to expect that they'd be the trendsetters or even know the benchmark for good taste? This level of influence isn't reserved for only the British royal family, but there aren't many others in their midst, said Crandell. The Obamas, Elon Musk, Cristiano Ronaldo are examples of a few others who have achieved a similar fascination from the public. Royals are finally getting into the game to further their fame and fortune. So, quite simply, influencer. I know most of you know this, but for those who don't, an influencer is someone who can influence others. A social media influencer is someone who wields that influence through their social media. The form of influence can vary, and no two influencers are the same. The right influencer can reach your target audience, build trust, and drive engagement. What's the difference of that and a brand influencer? A brand influencer is someone who discovers, understands, innovates, and implements a brand, segmenting and engaging the brand's audience, employees, stakeholders, partners, suppliers, and customers. This is one of the definitions, but there are many more. So how would you go about finding a brand influencer? Influencers are social media users who have established credibility and audience. They want them to have a lot of followers. I'm going to show you 9 people, and these are the ones that have been some of the most famous. Daily Dose with 1.4 million followers on Instagram. It's a digital marketing agency and is one of the first and biggest motivational accounts on the social medium. And let's see, they have over 200 million people that follow them. Hada Katan, she started out, she was born in Oklahoma in the United States, and she was a influential beauty expert. She started a blog and then transformed that into an Instagram page. She has 29 million followers for the makeup tutorials. Cameron Dallas. We know that he was a big social media Vine star, and now he's become a big star on YouTube and on Instagram with over 21 million Instagram followers. Kayla Estines, I know I mispronounced that, an Australian personal trainer, has 10.5 million followers. Cooking with Mima, she has 2.4 million followers, but I want to give you an idea of something. Selena Gomez, singer, actress, and she has with 144 million followers. Kylie Jenner on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kylie has 118.5 million followers. This is what Meghan and Harry want to do. They want to be able to send out a post and get paid millions. So Kylie Jenner can go out and make a post just on one product. Let's say it's an eye makeup, or let's say it's a pair of shoes. Kylie will make $1 million per Instagram post that she puts up for a company. Do you hear that? One post is $1 million. And she's the highest paid Instagram influencer around the world. Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, he's a social media influencer. Now, it says he has 145.3 million followers. And guess what? If he makes a post, let's say he likes a shirt, a pair of pants, a car, a certain toothpaste, he has 145.3 million followers, and making one post, he makes $750,000 to make a post one time. Why wouldn't Meghan and Harry want to get into this? This guy, Zach King, is a personality and filmmaker, 21 million followers. So it doesn't give what everybody makes with that. Oh, guys, if you didn't hear the breaking news, go back and watch my last video. Prince Harry and Meghan have agreed to be filmed for a fly-on-the-wall reality series, and they'll star and produce this docuseries on Netflix, and it will be about their lives or whatever portion they want to show. So go back and watch that video. I want to thank you for watching this, and let's not let her get us upset about running for president. And again, she's throwing spaghetti on everything out there just to see where a piece will stick so that she can grow her followers, become bigger than life, and then she can just make millions and sit back and make a tiny post. But that's why she's involved in everything, because she is trying to win sainthood. She wants to be canonized, I think. You know, she's a humanitarian. She's an influencer. She's a, you know, a feminist. She's a human rights activist. She preaches on equality and gets involved in politics. Listen, all she's going to do is whatever she can do to make money, and whatever she can do to work the least in order to do that. That's why they're drumming all this up now. They got to get their name out there. They've got to get brand recognition and have a good reputation. But that reality show, I don't think that's going to be a very good boost for your reputation. In fact, I'm hoping that we'll see Meghan remove the mask, and instead of pretend who she is and act, we'll get to see what we know she's really like behind closed doors. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Thank you all for watching. Listen, if you like this video, please show me some love and share it. Give me a like or consider subscribing. I appreciate you, everyone. Please leave me some comments, because I want to know what you guys are thinking about this. Have a great week, and let's all be grateful for the things that we have, and just try to spread the love. Thanks, guys.